What is up? Carpets and Coffee 59.
59. Hey, hey,
Here we are.
hey.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, that's too early. I'm 10 early.
It's too early for what?
For my 59-69 joke. It was a bad joke.
So what's going on, man?
Not much. I've been spending some time in the snake room looking at things and working with animals and moving some stuff up and seeing what I'm doing next. And then I was paying attention to the geckos the other day, and I said, you know what? I'm going to pull each one of these geckos out and put them in a 6-inch deli cup, clear,
right?
Lid them, and take ventral photos as best I can. And I took photos of all three of them to the best of my abilities to get them in focus with somewhat of a micro sort of approach, and reached out to John, I believe. John at Geckos, and sent him some photos, and he actually thinks they're all female. So.
Oh, no. The dreaded verification.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, it explains why I've been so unsure of myself, and they're 9 months old now. So,
has it been 9 months that you've had them?
No, no, I got them at 5 months old. I've had them probably 4.5 months now.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe 4 months.
How are you liking them?
Dude, they're awesome. I'm excited because they're growing nicely. They're eating probably 4, 5, or 6 small crickets in a sitting each, almost daily. So they're growing and shedding nicely. It's cool. They're getting close to being able to all go into the megaplex soon, especially if they're all females.
So I was showing you guys that I guess I'm a half gecko breeder at this point. I got an egg that didn't
you got
know
the environment right.
Yeah, I was doing a deep clean of my knobtails, my barking geckos, and I found an egg, and I'm like, what the hell? How did I not know this was going on?
Now you got to start keeping a close eye on your girl.
Yeah.
Are they living together or separate?
I have them separate at the moment, but I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe putting them together for a little bit and see what happens.
I would say it's worth doing it when you have time. It's the right time of year. Definitely go for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. That would be cool. They're really cool geckos. I like them a lot. The Underwoodosaurus Millie.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah. And I actually prefer the normal looking one than the hypo one.
The hypo one's a little more reddish orange, right?
It's more like purple, and
that's the hypo. Okay.
Yeah. The other one is darker, where it's like, I don't. Device not connected. Lucas is going to be joining us temporarily, but it's I don't know, man. They're really cool. I like them. I'm digging them. I moved the Kims up to a bigger enclosure while I wait for the actual final enclosure to arrive.
How big are they now?
Oh gosh! Whoa, Chris Salemi is
Chris Salemi's here.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Shoot! Wow! What's up,
everybody? Go buy lottery tickets.
I guess they're body is probably about that long.
Nice. Okay. Dang.
I don't know, 5 inches, 6 inches,
because they're over a year old now, right?
Yeah.
Man, those things are sweet. I've seen Allens that are around that age, and I just reached in and scooped one up.
Dude, they're so cool, man.
It's
just holding it,
really? Yeah, they're rad. They're cool.
Okay. So we got all the IJ people in the house tonight.
Yeah. So what size enclosure did you put them in?
For now?
Yeah.
It's a what I guess it's a 2x4x18. I think 2x4
Nice.
by 18. Yeah.
Nice.
The one I'm going for is double the height of that. I forget what the exact dimensions are, and it's 5 foot wide.
Damn.
So it's a pretty big cage. Give
Nice.
them plenty of room, doing all kinds of naturalistic rocks and shit like that. So
Yeah, you're gonna make a custom background for that bad boy.
mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's what I've been saving up the zoopoxy for.
Fair.
We got Lucas, Grumpy Lucas.
I don't know what's going on. Can you even hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you are.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Internet problems or
I don't know. You guys are coming out of my computer, not my headphones.
maybe something's selected wrong or something.
Google Chrome said that my microphone and camera doesn't exist, even though
They
I do it
exist.
every time.
They're in the metaverse,
working
man. You
now?
got to go to the metaverse and get them and come back to the real verse, and then you.
Is there an echo? Because
What?
or does this sound normal?
Yeah, you're just a little low. That's all. Oh,
right,
it
we'll
sounds
go with
tinny.
it.
Tinny.
Tinny?
Yeah. Hmm.
What did you change?
I didn't do anything. Should I reboot my computer and ask the gods to forgive me?
Yeah,
do
we'll
that.
just hang
Carry
out
on.
here and wait for it.
Yeah, go
No
for
worries.
Bye.
it.
Oh, there he goes. Cool.
That's awesome that the Kims are doing well.
Yeah, Aki's too. I got I got 2 enclosures coming that are that size. So
Speaking of your Ackies, now that you're getting eggs from your barking geckos, you should probably keep an eye on them too. They're probably old enough to.
I think I've seen action with them. I'm pretty sure I have a pair, and I think I've seen action with them, but I don't know. I'm afraid to sort of push that yet because they're not in a big enough enclosure, I guess, with a nest box and all that stuff. Yeah. Man, that really, really intimidates me. Is monitor breeding like? It's so different than snake breeding.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But I think after having listened to enough of the Monitor Keeping podcast, seeing Lucas's go and his first and now second clutch in, and seeing how he's taking it, and talking to Alan and hearing, Mike talk about it and learning stuff from my boss. I mean, as long as you're on top of feeding them and making sure you're pairing at the right time, unless they're cohab together, then they're just breeding. As long as they're getting along and then you get the eggs on time. I mean, you know how egg biology works in theory, and although these are different from snake eggs, the same rules apply. You just alter your approach accordingly, and you've got Mike and Alan and a bunch of other people in your corner, so you've got tools at your disposal. Yeah,
it's very true, but at the same time, I don't know. There's just something about it that's
feeder.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing with them, right? I guess they don't really do. Well, I don't know. Do they do like a full? Does Alan do like a full cool down and all that, or no?
No,
I didn't think.
No,
so.
I think they just cycle multiple times throughout the year, and then they might slow down a little bit during the winter, but generally they get going. They're like conveyor belts.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of too.
Yeah.
You get an Aki, you get a Kim.
I mean, you don't have to incubate them all.
I guess that's true. They could be pygmy python eggs.
Pygmy python food. Something fun. Yeah, there you go. I mean, why not?
Just keep digging in the egg box all the time. Yeah, that's true, Alex. That's for sure.
A friend of mine told me a cool trick for noticing when a dug-in lay box has been disturbed.
What's that?
When you're filling it, fill it halfway and then fill a layer of like some other noticeably different colored material, and then put the soil back on top. so that if they go through a dig and you pull that stuff out, so like if you get pink like coral, the fake rock for an aquarium, throw a layer of that in there, and all of a sudden pink rock, you know somebody's been digging.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I made this sort of my own. Yeah, pygmy eggs are exciting. They hatch. Oh yeah. I made a substrate with. It's sort of like you use like the. I guess it's like iron almost.
Iron oxide.
Yes, me and Alan has it.
Mhm.
Did you see the stuff that he has?
Yeah, it's like,
He,
is it like a
adds it?
clay red stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I got some regular sand. I got some, like coconut bark or whatever, like one of those bricks or whatever, and then some, I guess like straight a little bit of dirt, and then I just kind of mixed it all up, and then I put some of that in there, and it like turned orange like the Outback, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Nice.
Yes,
that's cool.
Mouse tails at the ready. Oh, for pygmies? No, I'm not making pygmy eggs. I was saying I could feed the eggs of the monitors to the pygmy pythons. Going the opposite way.
Oh yeah, good lord, pygmy pythons.
Hi.
So what's up, Lucas? Now you're back. You're ready.
Sounds better now.
Made it. Yeah, no, everything's working the way it's supposed to now. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes you just need a reboot.
I blame my 4 a.m. brain.
Yeah.
Field Lucas is back.
So how's that been, man?
It's good. First week of my season, I did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday out there. So definitely hitting the ground running. My body is exhausted, but I had a good week. I'm like a ring neck magnet right now. I found 6 or 7 ring necks, garters.
Owen found a ring neck too.
I know. I told him he was a copycat, and he said something snarky. He's like, "This is clearly an Eastern ring neck."
Oh, clearly, okay,
clearly.
This, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of ring necks.
Garter snake, you said?
Yeah, garter, really pretty garter. Had like a turquoise belly situation. I'll post pictures later. A lot of slender salamanders. The usual suspects, some really pretty alligator lizards. I found a breeding pair that was actually locked up under a cover board.
Oh, sweet!
Nice.
So that was a cool observation. But I'm kind of bummed. All the bios before me were finding like good sized gopher snakes every day, and I'm striking out. I can't find a damn gopher anywhere.
You're 3 days in.
I know, but it's because the crew already messed up the good stuff.
Spooked them all.
They've been digging in the good grass. But
so what do? Have to just go and check for species? Is that what you're doing? And like,
so what I'm doing this summer, I'm back out on the project that I've been a part of for the past 2 years. It's the largest creek restoration project that the East Bay Parks Service out here has ever undertaken. In 2019, they got like a $4 million grant to restore this big parcel of land that they bought from a ranching family that has a creek that was put in a culvert underground. So we're daylighting the creek. We're restoring like a natural riparian habitat for a whole bunch of neat critters, native rainbow trout that used to be all over the place in the Oakland Hills. We actually found one that made its way back up into the new creek over the winter. So they're still here, which is crazy because you don't think of wild trout in the Oakland Hills. So yeah, I mean my role is pretty much getting out there, surveying the area before the big heavy machines start stomping through, and make sure nobody runs over any endangered frogs.
Very cool.
I'm just kind of there for whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Better than what I got to do every day.
I'm trying to go into it with a more upbeat mindset this year because it's really beat me up in years past. It's it's pretty physically and mentally draining to get up
Yeah.
at 4 and haul ass out there and, hike for 8 hours a day. But I'm trying to remind myself that that's a luxury.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
at least you'll
beats
be
a lot
ripped,
of other
man. You'll be ripped
activities.
for the summer, You're hiking
Well,
8 hours a day.
maybe.
That balances out, man. Now you're balanced,
Yeah.
There you go.
But I've been scaling the hills trying to find a damn rubber boa because
Oh,
Yeah.
that is still the species that evades me.
Have either of you guys ever found rosy boas?
They don't come this far north.
Oh,
even
okay.
when I was in Santa Barbara, I don't think I was quite in their territory.
Mm-hmm. They
Yeah.
just barely make it into the Southern California area.
Yeah, you have to go like east end of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I always forget you guys is that California is like almost the entire
Its own
east side of
country.
the West Coast. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, it's huge.
My perception of is like
The
so
GDP
off.
is that of a small country, right?
Yeah. It's kind
It's
of
basically
nutty.
like Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
for real.
It's a
Aren't they in
lot.
your outback? You're like, you idiot.
No, but there's a good amount of cool herps in Northern California for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
We've
seen
got,
everything on this site except for rubber
Rubber
boa.
boa.
Yeah. We've got one rattlesnake.
Norpax.
Yep.
Yep.
Highly
Which-
variable though, so that's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
they are. They are.
Cool.
But
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that's what I've been up to. But behind me, the Western blackhead
Laid
is
eggs?
upside down
Oh, okay.
and
Close enough.
like twice as fat as she was a week ago in all the right places. So I'm starting to think it might be okay. Like all the signs are good.
That's awesome, man.
She's like 2.5 weeks post ovulatory shed, so she's
Yeah.
close.
She's pregnant.
It amazes me how you guys have both gotten like animals as adults and then just turn around and just like, oh yeah, I just bred them. Meanwhile, over here on the East Coast, we're like, takes us like 3 years if you like look at it crooked or something. I wonder what the difference is. Maybe we just suck as snake keepers. I don't know.
I certainly don't want to speak too early because she could, drop
Yeah.
a bunch of slugs or, so much could still go wrong. But if it does go right, I know one thing that I did is I got her a lot colder than people say to get blackheads.
Yeah. That was Gary's thing, when we were talking to Gary on NPR, is he's the secret to his success is just getting them cold. He's like, I just get them cold. And even Owen with his olive pythons, he tried for years and couldn't get it. And he just took them cold and then they bred, which I thought was strange because they're from the Northern Territory in Australia.
Yeah.
And you would think like cold wouldn't be something that they would be looking for, but
I dropped her into the 50s a few nights for sure.
50s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need that little,
We'll see. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk too much about it.
Yeah. Move on. What about
How are
Riley?
you? Yeah.
I am waiting for the first clutch of eggs to hatch. Litter of rainbow boas is due in like a month and a week. Crebo eggs are, who the hell knows what those things are doing.
Do they still look good?
Yeah, I mean they're
Right
they're
on.
they're halfway through the 5 good ones, so they're going. My jungle clutch of like 3 or 4 eggs molded out and died pretty quickly. I just left them. I think I have one other clutch or like 2 other eggs died out in there. It's just, I definitely operate on the theory that like if it's a bad egg and it's going to go bad early, it's not going to affect the good eggs around it as long as I maintain, a good environment and it's not excessively wet and mold is just going everywhere. So, but yeah, so far eggs are cooking just fine and just waiting on all that commotion to hit, and it's just going to be a wave because it's all going to happen in like like the first week, there's 3 clutches due to hatch, and then I have a lull for a couple weeks, and then I have a couple more clutches that hatch, and then the boa litter, and then crebos, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
You sound so excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Guy's
another.
passion is intoxicating. To me.
I
think
am
we're all
really-
exhausted.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
I've got another big old hatchling rack showing up on Tuesday, so I got to get that installed and ready. But I'm excited for baby carpet palooza again. I'm really curious to see the first clutch is due to hatch is that dark pairing of IJs, the Popwins, the dark ones from Emily's daughter, those half siblings.
Right.
They're both really black. So I'm curious to see how those babies hatch out. And then excited for some Exanic Tigers. Can't be more stoked for Exanic Tigers. 2 clutches of potential there. So that's really cool.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah, man, everything that's going to hatch is going to be sweet. Like I could go on about everything that I'm excited about. And it's literally just everything that's going to hatch. The, the female that got egg bound, who I got 5 eggs out of, and then she stopped. One of those 5 eggs is toast from the looks of it, but I just left it. The other 4 are gross and ugly because they came out gross and ugly, but they're still going. So
Right.
depending on, what they look like and how that clutch turns out, I might just keep all of those, or I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I want more Popwin carpets, but I don't need to hold everything, but like I'm gonna hold everything for at least a little while, because new clutches, new pairings, you got to keep something from those.
Yeah.
Like, first time getting a clutch from a certain pairing, you got to keep some of those. Especially if there is something to that melanistic attribute, I really, yeah. IJs. Stripes. Striped coastal, striped jungles.
Listening to the Corey Martin episode during fieldwork made me want more IJs. And by more,
Is
I
that
mean
where that came from?
some.
Yeah.
I have none, but yeah, that's why I was like, I want more carpets.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
alright.
can,
I was like,
we can fix that. You could also,
just
send Nick some money.
3 inlands is not enough.
No.
Not by any stretch.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. You just reminded me I need to buy inlands this year.
Do you want to just send me the ones you already have?
I only have one.
Yeah.
What, inland?
That's not enough. I'm getting,
No, but you send it here and then you have all of them here.
No.
That are yours.
No.
Like in the same box with the Stropharis.
Hey, what? But then I can't look at them freely at my will here. I need a pair from Justin. I have a female, but I needed a pair from Justin, and I've decided that I'm no longer gonna just sit on the sidelines and drool at Nick Snakes, even though I've bought a granite from him. So I'm starting to send him money for things. So
Nice. Did you call him?
He called me at work the other day, and we've been messaging on and off and stuff and all that jazz.
That's always fun.
It's always fun getting his perspective and learning the projects he's been working on kind of quietly or not secretly. And it's not like a secret, but like just kind of hearing it straight from him, what he's doing, why, his perspective and things.
There's, I mean, like you said, not quite secrets, but there's a lot that he doesn't necessarily broadcast.
Sure. To me, he's very transparent with everything, which is why when I find he has so many other things going on that like you wouldn't just get from his social media presence or his website. I just, it's really interesting. And then the fact that he and I have talked recently, and you talk to him frequently. You guys have some projects together, but I don't personally have any engagements or anything with him. And so now that I do, it's just always kind of humbling to talk to somebody with that level of expertise and experience and have them, share and take the time out of their day to, contribute that knowledge. So it's really cool.
Hell yeah. And
You're back.
Just set an hour aside and you'll have a great chat.
Well, yeah. So he called me at the shop while we were open and I was working and it was Wednesday and I was like,
yeah, he don't care about that.
Yeah, I was like, well, nobody's here. So I just took the call and for like an hour or however long it was.
Nick, I got to count some fucking crickets.
I had to answer one other phone call and that was it. And then I was like, all right, well, I got to go. And some guy was walking in right then. So, but it's always good talking to him. I respect the hell out of that guy. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just the experience that he's garnered over like 30 years or whatever it is of breeding and working with all these various species. It's, say what you want about opinions and whatnot, but experience is a very serious teacher in my opinion. And so when somebody imparts some of that experience and wisdom, I stop and listen as much as I can. So
yeah,
man.
He especially with carpets, he's produced so many carpets. I don't know, other than Todd and I guess really Todd, not Kerry so much, but other than Todd, I don't know anybody that's really on that level. No, in the States, with that amount of carpets.
Yeah, no, quantity wise, there are no others.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys legitimately have maybe hundreds to 200s of breeders.
Yeah.
So,
holy shit.
But it's funny and it's not funny because like perspective is everything. Nick, he'll adamantly tell you like, I don't have as many snakes as you think I do, which is probably true because he doesn't keep like normal carpet pythons. He doesn't have like normal coastals. He has like combinations of things. He's very efficient,
and
he'll work the hell out of it. But yeah, he has a lot of
that are elsewhere.
And that's the other thing too. I do know that he's got some good, trusting, loyal friends who reciprocate as well, such as you, and Travis.
Brandon. Yep.
Yeah, Eric Owen, of course. Yeah, absolutely. So he's made some very smart choices that way. It's so I think it's interesting because it's a hard model to follow, especially when everybody's preaching, find your niche and your specialty and just go with it and do your thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me, I'm a collect the set guy. And so I see Nick's roadmap and I'm like, I go that way.
Yeah.
I follow him.
The only thing that, with Nick's approach, right? He's a Python guy and he knows a lot about Pythons. But I think sometimes this is what happened to me. Like I noticed that when other people talk about Pythons, they're talking about they talk about things and they don't necessarily know as much because they have more of an overview of a lot of things. Whereas like with Nick, he's sort of focused on one thing. And I think it would probably be my only regret is that I'm slowly getting out of that mode because I've been so focused on Pythons, specifically Morelia, for like the past 10 years that I've sort of ignored everything else. And I think, I don't know, sometimes when I'm and it could be just the people that I'm around now are more generalized, I guess, like they know a lot about a lot of things, but they're not as specific. Like Nick knows the details of am I making sense? Like he knows all those details of carpets. Like, there's
so I see these two approaches and styles of keeping in the general sense of specialized in whatever way you want over here and generalized over here. And you're on a pendulum. And as you are pulled and pushed and pulled and pushed by those around you and the influences, i.e. guests on podcasts, i.e. friends and other breeders around you.
Sure.
that natural ebb and flow happens. And I mean, if you're susceptible to it, it's a normal cycle of things. So I completely feel you, because I feel like I've done the same thing. I've cinched my belt. I no longer have gopher snakes. I have like 4, corn snakes here, and 2 of them are leaving. And now I'm like really just sticking with what I've kind of focused on.
I guess like when I'm talking to you guys, when I'm talking to Nat, well, Owen's always kind of been this way, but he's not really, he doesn't really, how do I say this in the right way? He doesn't necessarily nerd out about the details, right? He's the guy that says, just put them together and they breed. What are you talking about? Why are you making this so difficult? Like that type of approach.
I mean, he knows it's deeper than that.
He knows it's deeper than that,
he does.
but I think,
and he's very smart when it comes to, and I think a lot of it has to do with his zoological background. Like he really impresses me a lot of times, but he doesn't necessarily get to do it on the show per se. But like when it's me and him and we're hanging out and he's at my house, I'll ask him a question and he'll just have an answer, and I'm like, oh wow, man, that's impressed. That like, wow, And it's funny because it's like you would think that it would be like it's usually me going to him for advice on things that are more general herpetoculture. Like he just had I don't know how to explain it. I'm tired, man. I'm not
it's
talking.
Oh good.
It's
this is the night crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the generalist keeping approach. I know what you mean, because with the zoo background, you're not focused on the lineage.
You're the same way, Riley. It's like you
know how to take your inputs and translate it into husbandry for a wide variety of species, because you've had the experience. Yeah, you can hand me most amphibians, invertebrates, reptiles, whatever, and Owen's probably the same way, and more or less figure out how to take care of them just by knowing what they are and where they're from.
I guess what I'm trying to say in a way is I don't think that Owen gets the not appreciation. He doesn't get the level of I don't know if respect is even the right word, but like he doesn't
comes from a different angle.
Rapport.
Like he I don't think that people look at him as the guy that's like nerding out into a book about, like
how about this? I'm going to try an analogy.
The water courses of Australia in order to find, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Go ahead.
I want to attempt an analogy without sounding offensive. The guys who are heavy into the details are the guys who like the words in the book.
Yeah.
The guys who are heavy into the natural history and put it there and take care of it and make it live, thrive, breed.
Yeah.
Those are the guys who like the pictures in the book. Owen likes the pictures.
Yes.
Nick likes the words.
Yes.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an obviously very oversimplified generalization, but both can lead to understanding. How's that?
Yes.
But he's got 30-something freaking species.
That's what I mean. Like he's so like I don't know. He's like,
he does it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
grace.
he doesn't like. It's not like he's like, oh, I bred this and I bred that and I bred this and I bred that. It's just like,
no, he's like, oh shit, Chinese king rats.
Yeah, he doesn't even realize it. If you asked him how many species you've bred, it would take him an hour to figure out, and he'd probably forget multiple.
Yes, exactly.
Oh God, the corns.
Man, it would take conversation. Like, oh shit, I forgot about those. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But
he has his ways, man. I do think everybody has whatever stage or taxa that is their foundation or approach that is their foundation as they evolve into whatever they're best at. And I don't want to not say that Owen is the coastal carpet guy, because that's how I always knew him initially as
I don't think of him as that.
No, he's not that.
No, he's the big angry colubrid guy who has a fetish for pythons on the side.
Yeah.
I think these days I think of Owen as roughies and white lips plus big angry colubrids.
Something like that.
Yeah.
With
Big
other side
species
products.
A, natural history. Yep.
Yeah. He was my shout out of the week because he's just crushing it with colubrids, man. He
Dude,
had
he's-
another clutch of mad hogs, and
Yeah.
he had, I think they're white-sided black rat snakes, maybe, I think was the other one.
Was it
Yeah.
that or was it licorice rat?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. They look.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You start talking colubrids, I'm like, what? Yeah, rat snake, corn snake, gopher snake,
All
pine
I know
snake.
is that you talk
King
to a lot
snake.
of colubrid guys, and if they're heavy into colubrids, they tend to specialize in like a region. Like Matt Most is a great example. He's very much into some of those cooler Asian colubrids, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't really stray from that zone.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys that do the North American colubrids, and then there's the guys that do
Mexican
stuff from
garters.
South. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like they specialize because, well, generally they run a room based on that climate. But it's interesting because even though it sounds like Owen has all this mythical ample amount of space,
No, he does not.
we know that's not exactly. We know that's not the case. That's not the case. Like he has
Rhinos are in
rooms.
the living room. The roughies are in the office.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got snakes everywhere. He opens window. Whatever he's doing, however he does it, he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's whether it's complicated and he has a crazy system that if you watched him do it, you pull your hair out, or he's got a smooth, efficient system that's dialed in for everything. Whatever it is, he's doing it.
I think, like, I guess this would be an example. Like every year we've done the breeding episode, right? And I'm waiting for him to sort of come and say like things like, listen, I tried this last year, it didn't work. So, I didn't think that I got, and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm not getting that.
Mhm.
It's like, I think he knows all that stuff, but he doesn't necessarily say all that stuff. So it comes across like he's just like, I put them together, they breed. If they don't breed, then I don't, wait till next year.
Well, he also he does it to himself with his humor.
He doesn't give himself the credit. That's fair.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we did get a question from Hannibal's Animals about maternal incubation.
Ooh, my favorite.
I did that first.
So let's see. I wanted to ask a question on maternal incubation. So I recently got eggs from a diamond python.
Congratulations.
Ooh, nice.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
Snaps.
very cool. I'm trying. Hopefully I get some of that mojo over here. Anyway, besides the point, my diamond python is going the MI route since the female is looking, she has great weight, especially after laying. I know you have experience in MI, so I was curious on it. I know I should just let the mom do her thing, but should I be concerned if she leaves her eggs for a certain amount of time, like an hour? All right, let's start with that question first. No.
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 And you also shouldn't be concerned if she leaves her eggs and wraps her entire body around a bulb guard 3 to 5 times a day.
Which was impressively ingenious and intuitive, and I had to say that was cool to see.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure you were stressing like crazy at first.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I would have stressed no matter what. If I put him in the incubator, I still would have stressed.
Yeah. So
at least I was stressing, but she was in control and she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. The other thing is too, is if you've gotten her that far, you've got an acceptable and agreeable climate within her enclosure, where even if she does leave for an hour, those eggs aren't like losing temperature and humidity like they've just dropped out of an airplane or something.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, in my first MI clutch, I think 3 weeks in, I saw the female briefly leave to get water and come back. Lucas, I know your Brettles girl left many, many times.
Every day.
I think my citrus tiger female, when she produced, I think she maybe left once or twice towards the end, but that was it. And every time went back. If I caught her roaming, it felt like she was going to get a drink or do something, stretch, and then come back. So
Yeah, and I remember Owen also panic texting the chat like, "She left the eggs, Eric. Is it over?" And no, he was fine too. So
Yeah, I think so. Here's my I've done coastals, jungles, IJs, and crosses. And I did crosses of the first year I bred a diamond coastal cross. And the one difference that I noticed between the two is that the IJs never left the eggs. Never. They stayed on them the whole time.
interesting.
Yeah. And when I did have an IJ leave the eggs, not saying that this goes for everything, because like we said, they can leave the eggs, but for whatever reason, whenever an IJ leaves the eggs, I get extra nervous because that's sort of what Poison Ivy did. And she had an RI when she did that. So there was a reason why she left the eggs as opposed to going and basking in the heat, right? So I don't know. Other than that, I've done maternal incubation probably at least 10 clutches of IJs, and they always stay on the eggs. So I don't know what the difference is, other than maybe I'm thinking that the temperature doesn't fluctuate in their environment as much. So maybe but then you would think that they would leave the eggs, but I don't know. Anyway, with the diamond coastal one, she left the eggs a lot to bask. And then she would go back in. I also seen where she would kind of put out like the first third of her body under the basking spot. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, and then pulled herself back in.
My second mom with the radiant heat panels went that route.
Went
halfway
there,
in,
yeah.
halfway out. Yeah.
I wonder if it matters the type of heating you have, right? So for the ones that I'm talking about, man, this was back in 2012 was my first year breeding. Yeah, not my first year trying, but my first year being successful. So 2012, and I used overhead heat at the time, like a basking light. So
I would say you're going to see different behavior for different heat sources for sure, because I mean, I did.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. How so with you?
what?
Me?
Yeah.
The one would literally wrap around like we're talking about. The other one that didn't have that option, that just had a radiant heat panel, would just do a typical basking.
Just going to wrap myself around the light and hopefully I get enough.
That's scary.
Absolutely. And that clutch, the clutch from the female that would wrap her entire body around the light as if it was an egg mass. That clutch, if I recall, had some of the biggest babies and 8 fantastic, and all of them were really docile. And the MI clutch bites the crap out of me. Or sorry, the AI clutch bites the crap out of me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting. So I guess my advice with that would be that, it's not the end of the world if they leave the eggs. But I would definitely keep an eye on it. I've talked to guys like Jason Balin, who sort of steered me away from using JAGs to do MI. But I know people. I know people that also have done that. So I don't know.
Eric, when you did MI, were any of those clutches in racks or cages?
I had a mix of both. I would say probably the bigger percentage were in cages. And yeah, racks. So when I used to breed in racks, the thing that I would do with that is I would just put sphagnum moss in the entire tub and let the female just use that as a big nest box. And the interesting in there, I've seen them move the eggs much more than I've seen in, say, in a cage, to where it's actually pretty cool. They sort of like beehived underneath of it and kind of like moved over. That's sort of where I seen like the observations to where the mom would put her head in the coil. I guess it was much easier to observe those things because the entire enclosure was the nest box, as opposed to having a nest box inside of a cage where I can't really necessarily see what's going on. So,
did you find that opening and closing the tub and the rack disturbed the female much?
No, I didn't. I would check on them like maybe once a day. I would sometimes just check on them from the side. So I had those vision racks, so you could really kind of see into the side from the, because there's no like enclosed sides,
Sure.
if you will. So, yeah, I don't know. No, not really.
Because that was my biggest deterrent from doing any clutches MI this year. It's because all of my females were in racks, and I straight up assumed that although I had confidence in maintaining an appropriate climate for the task, that my opening and closing would potentially add an extra variable of stress that would alter the results in a negative way.
Believe it or not, the temperature was steadier inside a rack than it was inside of an enclosure.
Oh, I believe it. Totally. I totally believe it. After seeing how much my jungle clutch fluctuated inside a nest box, inside a PVC enclosure, there was like an 11 or 12 degree swing.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Which maybe is good or bad. I don't necessarily know.
I mean, that clutch was as far as I'm concerned, the poster child for MI. Like Lucas said, big babies, 30 plus gram babies for the majority of them. They all ate frozen thawed right off the rip, 3.5 weeks post shed.
Yep.
All were sweet as can be. Yeah.
Has there been any? I don't think that there's been any actual studies. Is that what you were trying to do, Lucas? With
that's what I was doing until I switched to what I'm doing now. Hopefully,
so like trying to find the validity of whether or not that's true. That
the
babies
that's
are
what
bigger.
I was doing.
That sort of.
I mean, but
that sort of experiment is noble and great, but you'd have to have hundreds of clutches.
That's the thing. It's been
to
done,
get a sample size big enough.
It's been done many times, but never in the quantity.
Yeah, you would literally have to span it out over decades unless you have a massive freaking collection. And even then, it would still take years.
And that's, I mean, yeah, exactly. That with just my 3 clutches last year.
Right.
My artificial clutch, even though they're dicks, they were all the biggest. They were way bigger. That goes against it. But that's just one example.
Was that your hypo stripe clutch?
It was.
So the female I got from you.
Well, I got 2 hypo stripe clutches. It was the artificial hypo stripe clutch.
So was mine from the artificial?
I'd have to ask you if you got a HYS 1 or an HYS 2. There he goes.
I'll get the answer for you.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. But I think Riley's is mean.
Is mean?
Yeah, so it's probably 2.
I didn't think there existed a mean.
Yeah, see, it's mean, right?
2.
Well, it was when you gave it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that's the prettier pairing, but it was artificial incubation.
She's chill.
Lit. Brettles are chill, dude.
My normal pair have not tried to wreck me lately. I have been taking some extra liberties when manipulating them. The female, she just gives me this look sometimes, man. She's like comes out of a dead sleep, when I'm changing water or something, and it's just this little head twitch, this little forward, like, and I'm like, oh, Shit.
I still
Don't
have
move.
holes in my thumb from the blackhead last week.
Oh man,
Hey.
you really earned your stripes last week, man.
I just kept getting nailed. Yeah, I don't know.
You took all the bad bite juju away from me because I've been scot-free for a while.
Yeah, me too.
That
Great
garter
one,
snake
Wood.
today, the wild one, wouldn't bite me. A lot of the crew members are really terrified of snakes, so I kept trying to poke it in the face to be like, "Look, it won't even break the skin, but it wouldn't even bite." So.
Even better.
There you go. Okay, so here's another part of his question.
Aha.
Also, when she leaves the eggs, if I were to touch them, would she not return to them? I wouldn't bother them, but she laid the eggs on the little video camera I had put in the hide box.
On top of the camera, that's funny. He said, "Here you go."
I would
don't
take them
think-
off the video camera. That
Yes.
might be hot. The
Yeah, I don't think it'd
electronics.
be a problem.
Yeah, I would say.
You know, when
go for
I
it.
did mine last year, there was one clutch that I actually took half of the eggs. So I
Right.
definitely touched those ones, and she incubated the other half just fine.
Mhm.
So at least bredli aren't quite that sensitive.
Right.
My jungle girl, I nudged her head off of the clutch several times and like opened her up a little bit, and she would just go right back to it.
Yeah, I think the citrus tiger female, my main one, I've actually taken her off the eggs to look at the eggs and then put her back, and then she wrapped them right back up. So
Nice.
but I wonder if that's snake specific, like actually the specific snake that will do that.
Yeah, it's
because-
probably individual.
I think it would be far less likely for it not to be a specific personality component present than to say there is. Like there has to be some sort of personality trait there.
Yeah.
There's got to be bad moms, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not according
Especially
to
in
the internet.
captivity.
Even without the jag gene.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before and I'll never forget it because I found it so profound. But Ryan Dumas, when he tried MI with his jag and like 42 days, she left the clutch, never came back.
Mhm.
He just left them and they hatched.
I mean, it's just also a really simple selection example. The ones that aren't good moms aren't passing on their genes in nature because all those eggs were monitor food.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Oh, actually, excuse me. She did come back, but she went under the eggs and wore them like a hat.
good.
I think
She
that's
said,
worse, actually.
You incubate me.
But yeah, again,
I'm
it
kinda
goes.
cold.
This is how this works, right? This is what I do, huh?
Yeah.
An egg
The
blanket.
eggs, me,
Yeah.
yeah, something.
Yes.
I skipped a chapter, but I think I got it.
You know,
Yeah.
those ones that would not have succeeded in nature, we pull the eggs, put them in an incubator, and pass along deleterious traits.
Yeah.
So that, it's there.
Yeah. 100%.
Some things are born to be food for other things. It's just the way it goes.
Mhm.
The law of nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
It is a big food web.
Craig said that he hasn't had many MI clutches, but the hatchlings have definitely all been bigger, better feeders, and calmer than his artificial clutches, which is strange. And he has used the same females for both
Ooh.
maternal and artificial. So
That's cool.
that's interesting.
See, I wish I could do that, but my the jungle that did my first MI clutch is the one that passed away. That'd be really interesting to test. Test that theory. The citrus tiger clutch, that was MI, and I did have a few trouble feeders, and they were not exceptionally large.
That's that albino shit, man.
And they were just as nippy as anything else.
I'm telling you, that's
They were evil
albinos.
as shit.
They have been a nightmare to get going.
They've since mellowed out. Like every time I go in for cleaning, they're not biting me anymore. One of them kind of like has this reaction flinch bluff thing, and then he's like, "I don't know why I do that, but it just happens." And where the fuck am I?
My favorite carpet thing is probably what you're talking about. They like kind of coil up, and then they
Yeah.
kind of like shoot forward
Boing.
and they kind of like rock, like they're
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure what am I supposed to do here, and then they just, you know,
Half the time they're like, God damn it, you pressed the button, you son of a bitch, stop doing that. It triggers me. It's like a reflex, man. Yeah. It's like the same thing when you touch them in the neck. They're just like, ah, and they just bite you.
Yeah. Richard had put up, he saw a podcast with Tracy Barker where she put a mouse bedding in the incubator. I know that the Snake Keeper used to do that too. I wonder if they got that from,
that's curious.
They got that from her, because I remember listening to Reptile Radio and they were talking about that. And one of the things that they did with Antaresian green trees was, and I think it was king snakes too, that they were breeding, as they would do that. They would put that mouse smell in the incubator, and they said it seemed to help with getting them going. I don't know how true that is, but you know.
So my whole thoughts on that is it's a dietary preference that might have something trait related, similar to Western hognose. Look at some of the Western hognose that are multi-generations now that will eat pinkies right out of the egg. I think about this in reference to the children's pythons that I had a few years ago that I sold to make room for the carpets that I had growing up. And now
the one I got from you is doing great.
Oh man, everyone that still has one from me is like, this thing's awesome.
Rock solid, man. Rock solid.
I even went back in my Morph Market messages, found the person I sold them to, and messaged them to him like, hey, how are the snakes doing? You still have them? Like, I kind of miss them, even though I don't have space for them. But you know, like, I'm just like,
come on, man, it's a small python. You guys,
I know. I sold them
because a lot of personality.
But and mine. And then the other thing is mine were from Andy Grossman. So like they were really nice. And then on top of that, they were sweethearts, never tried to bite, like the perfect angels, right? But anyway, back to what I was talking about. There were two babies in that clutch. There was a pair that ate a frozen thawed pinky at first offering. If I was smart, I would have kept those two.
Right.
And then they'd be old enough now to breed. And then I could test the second step in this hypothesis of, if you take the animals that feed on frozen thawed pinkies right away, breed them, next generation, will it improve?
I think for sure.
I think it has to, at least maybe by a small degree. Like say it's a 10 egg clutch and 4 of them do it the next time, or 5 of them. That's to me an improvement. I don't know. You have, again, sample size is everything, but I think about that often nowadays. So
her panel forum said, I know how to get picky Antaresia to eat.
He's not telling.
Oh, I will. I'll tell you guys my secret. I'll tell you all
geckos.
My secret that I stumbled upon just by pure accident and some thought process and things. I had 3 that were 4 or 5 months in.
3 what?
Had baby children that I hatched that were not eating voluntarily. I've been assisting mouse tails and then occasionally trying to pop. Yeah, he's got it. I would take gecko shed, wrap them around a frozen thawed pinky, dip it back in the hot water so it would dilute the scent, adhere the gecko shed, grab the snake, literally hold it in my hands by the tail so it would dangle down, and then I would take the pinky wrapped in gecko shed and hit it from below as if something like came up, and 3 out of 3 instantly grabbed, wrapped, and ate it.
Wow. That's a good trick, man. I'm going to have to remember that one.
I can't recall why I went like step to step to get there, but something like that. And
wasn't there a planet? Wasn't it Planet Earth where they had that? I know there's a one with boas. I think it was.
Yeah, I've seen one where a boa was up there grabbing bats. I've seen.
But I also saw one with Antaresia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was at at a cave, and doing the same.
See, that to me just it made too much sense, and I was like getting frustrated with it in the tub, and it was like kind of running away from me, and it was shooting out of the tub. So then I picked it up, and then I was like, I'm just gonna try you in my hand, and then it worked, and I was like, wait a minute. I did it again, and it worked. I was like, what the hell? No way this works 3 times in a row. Boom, 3rd time. I was like, well, I quit.
Isn't that like the most awesome thing when you try a trick and it works? And
Yeah.
it's like something that, I don't know. Sometimes you just stumble upon it by accident. Sometimes, it's out in the cosmos somewhere and it just gets shot into your brain for a second. And you're just like, all right, let me try this. And then you're like, God damn it, it worked.
Yeah. And of course the addict in me and the gotta collect them all addict in me is like, okay, now I need all the Antaresia again. I'm going to test this hypothesis on literally all of them.
I'm almost there, man. I'm missing one. I don't have Pygmy Banded.
I legitimately don't
but I know somebody that does.
I legitimately have no space, so I'm just like, I can't scratch that itch right now.
All right, well, I'll keep your experiments going. Maybe
all right.
I think next year I'm going to try for my Antaresia to go. I should have
nice
Spotteds, Stimsons, Eastern Stimsons, definitely Children Eye. I have 2 females. I have my female that came from Justin Drewlander. She's got to be, 10 to 15 years. She's got to be 15 by this point.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Justin Drewlander.
yeah. Where are you?
Yeah. He used to always watch our show.
Yes. Every time I hear that voice, I think of Phil Wolf going, Nightschlagen. For night snakes. I'm like, oh, we found some Nightschlagen. I'm like, what? What?
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
I tried to watch an episode of Snakes and Stogies the other night, and as soon as Phil got on and he started talking, his voice put me to sleep. He like serenaded me to sleep, like, bro, this is I was like, snake.
When we do the Gecko we're doing the Gecko podcast, or even the Field Herban podcast, right? We've been working on the next episodes of those, and we like to use Phil for those. Phil's a co-host on the Gecko one, but on the Field Herban one, we use them as like the species highlight.
I love it.
Specific species, but like
his insert
is so good, man. It's like boom.
Perfect.
Naja.
Yeah, the way he hops in, and it's a complete break. It's like a narrator switch. I can like see it when I listen to it. I can see it as if it was on TV, and I can see the slide break, the little subtitle on the bottom come up with the full name, the scientific name, Phil's voice back there narrating, and then it goes into a really high profile, detailed pic of the snake, and then it separates into like a geographic 3D image of it, and it zooms in on the venom, and then these little things come out, and his venom breakdown, and then like I can see if Animal Planet or a better, more ethical, authentic, genuine channel did it.
Yeah, he's got a great voice, and the more cigars they smoke, and the older he gets, I think it's just going to get better and better. Like a fine wine.
I just hope all of those gentlemen are those types of people where they could smoke till 100 and never have issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I really, really love like listening to them talk.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
the snake gods will keep them healthy.
Yeah.
Cheers to the snake gods.
That's
Cheers.
right. Drink to that.
Give me Fertile blackhead eggs.
None of us drank coffee today, so that's.
I drank a shit ton of coffee, but it was at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I have noticed the one thing that I will say is that the one thing with coffee that I notice is now that I've gotten to these specialty coffees with like more advanced brewing, options that I have at my fingertips. When you go and have a K-cup coffee. Bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, man. You as soon as you start going bougie, you can taste the lack of quality, man. I feel you. I know the curse is real, and it cannot be undone. There is no cure. The only cure is more good coffee.
That's right.
My project manager brought me an iced mocha to the job site.
From
a Pete's.
Okay.
Imagine
not bad.
Yeah,
but how much ice? Was the whole thing ice? So you ended up getting like this much?
No.
Good.
Barely any ice.
Good.
Two
Whoever
shots
looked
of
out for that is.
espresso, midday. You see
There
how
you go.
tired I am even with that? That's what got me here.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay. There you go.
you did get up at 4, so I
3 days in a
What are you
row.
guys talking about? I get up before every goddamn
Yeah, but you're
day of my
old.
life. That should make it worse.
All old
I
people
don't
get up
know.
early.
Something biologically makes it, from what I've been told, that as
This
you
is
age,
true.
you don't
Yes.
need as much sleep. At a certain
Yeah.
point, you all of a sudden like 6 is great.
Am I still
think you
young
know you're
enough to
close
say
to
my
death.
brain is still developing, or did I grow out of that?
Yeah. I think it's because you're close to death and you realize that you only have very few hours left.
Jesus Christ.
So you want to live every moment you can. I don't want to sleep. I want to live.
Nice. When I was
Damn.
working that lab construction job thing, I was getting up at 4 and I was working 6 to 2. And yeah, I would get up at 4, work 6 to 2, come home, go to the gym, take a nap, wake up, make dinner, and go to bed by 8 o'clock.
Pretty much. That's what I'm doing. I'm just
That's
glad
the-
they're not working 10s, because that first year it was 6 to 4.
Oof.
That's about what I work. That's what I work. Yeah, basically.
It's tough, man.
6 to 4.
Granted, I'm not hiking 8 miles,
Yeah,
but
for real.
I do about 15,000 steps throughout the day.
It's good for you.
Ooh, that's
So-
real good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Keep
I
that
should be
heart
skinny,
healthy.
but I'm not.
Ah,
But I'm okay. I'm old. I'm old. You know,
we
what I
don't
mean?
want
What I mean?
skinny Eric. We just want
Yeah.
healthy Eric.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just keep the heart active. I mean,
Wait.
you think it's silly when you see people walking around the park and it's like,
No,
you're
man.
not getting their heart rate up above 60 beats per minute, and they're not breaking a sweat. And it seems silly, but that's actually pretty
Yes.
good.
It makes a big difference for sure.
100%.
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of, like, statistical outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walkers do okay.
I like to
I've
think
always
that
been a
working
big
in the
walker.
reptile shop, I sweat my ass off all the time.
Right.
And I'm just like lifting and moving and doing all this stuff, sweating my ass off. That's kind of cardio, but I have forced myself to go back into the gym lately. So
I think my store is 76,000 square feet, and I must
Wow.
go around that thing.
Yeah.
God, man. I don't know. 15, 20, 30 times a day, something like that.
The
So
thing
now's
with
a
my
bad
job site,
time.
too, is it's on a freaking hill. So
Dude.
like,
yeah.
you
wanna
know,
work
4
out.
miles on the hill. That's more
brutal, bro.
butt
Oh,
kicking.
man, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
So now's
Yeah.
a bad time for me to tell you, Eric, you could get a little like 25cc little scoot, like scoot around the shop,
Yeah.
around the
Get a
grocery store.
Segway.
If I'm getting a Segway or any kind of scoot thing around the shop, my
Put a little
employees
basket
are gonna
on
look
it.
at me like,
Get
Eric's
some
gone
stickers.
completely nut.
Put some
Richard
cool
has a
snake stickers
good
on it.
point.
I look like what was it? Paul Blart?
Paul
from
Blart
Mall
Mall
Cop?
Cop. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you could even be cooler. There's the ones that have no hands. It's got like its own centripetal thing. You just step on it, and there you go.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I don't know. It was funny, right? What was it like? So I go up and down in my weight, right? I always just try to stay healthy. That's my thing, right? As long as I'm healthy, I'm okay. I'm married. I don't want to look like bad, but or anything. But,
No.
but when I lost all the weight, my family was like, "You look like you're dying." Thanks a
That's
lot.
more just a testament to how fat America is. Like,
You're probably right. Yeah.
That's fair. Or it's just they're used to seeing you one way, and so when you lose weight, you lose it in the face often,
Yeah.
and so it looks like
I
you're.
can see it right here.
Yeah.
Cheeks and like.
I actually just got in these new supplements from InnoSup, I think is what it's called, or InnoSup supplement or something. Anyway, it's like a full cleanse to like help reinvigorate gut health and everything. And you'd be surprised how much weight just sits in your intestines. Just normally.
Are you telling us you took a massive dump?
No, I have not.
He took a.
I
cleansed.
literally today started like this 30-day
Nice.
regimen of these like supplement capsules that have all these good things.
You know
for
what I do?
You bougie Californians.
Just trying to do some good shit. I normally drink all the damn time and sit on my ass and
you just snort Repticalcium.
yeah,
Take
lines of the no, it's the Reptical multivitamin, then lines of the Repcal with D3.
Yep,
Oh my
that's
God.
how Ryan
Together.
Young breeds all the snakes. Critical care, IV, straight to the bloodstream.
Oh man. I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have snorted pixie sticks in elementary school as a kid.
Yeah, you strike me as that kid.
Yeah. Hey,
lot.
Riley, bet you can't snort this. Ah!
I was usually the one instigating it and
That's
then
the same kid
demonstrating.
that got to high school and then got talked into putting icy hot on his balls.
Oh, man.
No? Nobody?
No, but I did get pepper sprayed at a park.
All right, well, this is awkward.
Oh, no, you had a heart attack at 36? Oh,
Steven.
jeez.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm glad you're okay, Steven. We love you.
Jeez.
Yeah, I worry about that. That's sort of like that. That's the older you get, that's like, you're like, I don't know, when you're young,
How
you
you
just
doing,
have this
little
idea
buddy?
like, I can just like eat whatever. You're like, whatever. Any bad, drink whatever. And, then the older you get, you're like, nah, if I eat this, yeah.
Dude, I hit
I'm
30.
gonna have a heart attack.
I hit
Yeah,
30
it's
and
not worth
pizza started taking me down.
Yeah, man.
Like a kick to the nuts. Like, ooh, I'm done.
Well,
Ice-
there's that
icy
whole
hot to the
dairy
nuts.
thing too.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
I gotta
a
break
dairy
it to you guys.
sensitivity.
We're not baby cows.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You mean we can't drink milk
My
forever?
wife has
It
called me a
doesn't make
cow many
any
times.
sense to sip on baby calf growth fluid out of the nipple of a large bovine mammal.
But Lucas, milk snakes do it.
Yeah.
I've genuinely had customers come in and tell me
corn
that their
snakes eat
grandfather.
corn.
No, I had a guy who came in and he said, this was like last year. We had a Sinaloan milk snake, and he came in and he was like, my grandfather, on his farm in Sinaloa, he would kill these things because they legitimately to this day think that those milk snakes go and suck milk out of their cows.
Suck that milk. Find me another animal that drinks the milk of another species catered to that species' babies.
Bigfoot.
There you go.
All right, I'll lay
This is like,
off.
damn
Wait.
you.
Speaking of Bigfoot, hold on. Time out.
Wait.
Time.
Okay. All right. Time out. Stop
In the Reptile Fight Club happy fun time
Anniversary,
whatever.
podiversary quiz.
Oh,
show.
happy fun time.
whatever the heck it was called.
Right.
The winner gets this mythical Mac and Wookiee shirt. I'm assuming it's already been designed and it exists then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all. No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, I believe so. We have
Objection. Hearsay.
Right on your mattress.
We've convinced Owen that it's okay that maybe we release said Wookiee t-shirt.
Okay, so send me the design and we'll sticker it.
Okay.
We'll make it a sticker. By the way, anybody who's listening, go to the
Look at that. Right on cue.
Woo. Yeah, definitely go check out the NPR Teespring store because Eric has been tinkering around on there. He did get the NPR logo on there earlier. I renamed it because that file you have, because it's already on your computer and everything didn't get compressed. It's much larger than the other ones. Yeah, so I called that one the large. Because the other ones are going to be more in like the 3-inch range. I tried to get them all somewhere in that size range or better based on resolution.
I would stick that all over the place.
But there's like
nice.
16 new stickers available on the Teespring store, including Owen's. So we have stickers for all the podcasts, and if anybody can prove that we've forgotten one, which I don't think we have, let us know.
I don't think so.
And then there's Owen's logo on there. Eric, if you want an E.B. Morelia one on there, we can do that. But I think you could do it too.
Yeah.
And yeah, so some of them
Wait a second.
some of them I did have to increase in size, so the resolution might be not the crispest on some things, but for a small sticker, it's cool. So
Ian, I hear your example, but that's still just humans being batshit. That's still a person.
I did see that as well. On
the
internet.
audio listeners will not get that comment.
Yes. In regards to my previous question regarding drinking the milk of the incorrect mother, Ian said, I saw an Amazon tribeswoman feeding a piglet. So first of all, still a person. Second of all, did the pig have a choice?
What if the
Probably
woman
not.
was suspended and the pig walked up?
No. No. Okay, back to the stickers.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got stickers up on the Teespring store.
And we've been working hard this week. Behind the scenes podcast stuff. I feel like I've been, know, Riley's working. Oh my goodness, all this.
Well, and I'm trying to keep that rolling too, because I want to write a bunch and log a bunch beforehand, because I just have these little like moments of like inspiration or a thought, or I'll read something from somebody else, or have a conversation with somebody that sparks a thought, and I'll like jot a note down or something. And I think that's what I want to kind of flesh out further for that whole project we were talking about. So
tasty.
Yeah, we've been working on really trying to get some Instagram action, I guess.
You've been hats off. You've been kicking ass on that, man.
Well, it's kind of like I guess because Facebook was the first thing that's sort of like, and clearly my age is usually the Facebook people, right? My age and older are usually
Nowadays,
Facebook people. Yeah,
we all flocked long ago.
But I got to tell you, man, as soon as they changed their format, like maybe a couple years ago, I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about it. Yeah. And then, just like always, Rob Stone was trying to push me over to Instagram earlier, and I fight and kick all the way. He's like, "Come on, man! It's you don't have none of the bullshit. Come on, man! Just come on over." And I'm just like, Nah, I'm not going to be able to follow the what's going on. And what about the people like Nick who doesn't post on Instagram? What is that? Cricket?
Eat it, Lucas. Eat the cricket. Eat it.
Eat it on my floor.
Dip it in chocolate.
Eat it.
This is the worst part of monitors.
Yes.
Eat it.
100%. Oh my God. The other day, one of the dubia roaches got out and it climbed up the wall. And it was just when my wife walked in and she looks up on the wall and she's like, "Oh no, I put up with all this stuff and let you have all these. No, I'm not having roaches on the wall." I was like, "Oh, that's not a roach. That's
not a roach. It's a special roach."
Yes.
Eric, I accidentally let out my entire colony once back in Santa Barbara.
Oh my God.
You want to hear a story?
Oh man. Oh, that's
there was some bad juju at play or something. I had my colony in this like glass tank with a sliding lid and just a bunch of paper towel rolls in there. There's a few hundred roaches. Close the lid. It was in the snake room watching TV, and she's my fiance now, but she sees something walking down the hallway. She's like, "What's that?" Pause the movie, flip on the light, go pick it up. I'm like, "Oh, it's a male dubia. He must have like got out of Reptar's cage, maybe one of the ones he flung and got away from him or something like that." Go into the snake room, flip on the lights. Roaches everywhere, climbing up the curtains, all over the carpet, on cages, literally freaking everywhere. Wow. I was like, "Rachel needs your help here." She comes over. She's like, "Holy shit." Like, we freak out. We start collecting everything. Turns out somehow the lid got moved open and one of the tubes was like propped up right into the corner. Somehow, like, these roaches moved that shit into a ladder and moved it up there. And they're like, "All right, we're free." And they like broke out. It was,
oh wow,
dude, it was Shawshank Redemption roach style out of my freaking tank in the reptile room. It was crazy because I was diligent. I made sure like the paper towel rolls were never like 4 inches from the lid, and they were always like stacked neatly. And somehow this one was perfectly up in a corner up there, and the lid was pushed open. And I don't know how it happened, but it did. And man,
Owen did that to you.
When we moved out of the apartment, I found a few dead roaches. Yeah, she got a very nice, expensive ring from me because she puts up with that type of shit.
These aren't the roaches you're looking for.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, perfect time to say the Obi-Wan show looks incredible. Can't wait.
When does that come
out yet?
May 27th.
Okay.
But
a couple weeks.
That's crazy, man. You're lucky. Yeah, she deserves a big ring for that one. But
yeah. And by the way, if anyone's out there listening and they don't know how you can afford a ring for your significant other, trust me, you can. There's financing. You can do it. Make her happy. Trust me, it's worth it.
Riley can do it.
No, for real. If a broke ass reptile keeper has put all of his life savings in this one reptile room that you see around me, can afford a ring and all that good stuff, you can too.
And you could always just propose with like a ring pop. Or one of those pretzels that's a circle.
You got to eat to get down to it. It's in the pudding.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You wouldn't hear from me again. I'd be in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife doesn't even like. She's not. She wanted the ring I wanted to get her was not the ring that she wanted, and she wanted a smaller one. And I'm like, what? Are you sure? And she's like,
it's a style. It's a style.
Like, I'm not. And I think about it. She's not really like, rings and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's a style thing. It's
all good. But
that's the way I see it. Like, Lucas likes small lizards. Some people like
that's so cool,
big lizards.
Yeah.
But then sometimes Lucas tries the big ones and brings home a black.
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't speak of that.
How big is
the monitor you're looking for?
How big is who?
Nelson.
Oh, remember?
No.
I admitted failure and brought Nelson back to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why we don't speak of it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
It's not the crackhead you're looking for.
Oh boy.
We had to let you figure that one out on your own, Lucas.
I know.
We've all figured those things out on our own. And,
I just have to reframe it. I gave it a great foster home for a couple months, and now it's,
You socialized the hell out of that.
I socialized the hell out of it. In fact, I went above and beyond at my job.
Yes,
and I didn't even
you brought your work home, which is totally not something you want to tell HR.
There you go.
Yeah. Funny of you to think the vivarium would have HR. I'm the vivarium's HR.
I know. There is no HR at reptile shops. That was a joke.
Are you sure?
We don't have no HR.
We actually joke about that. They're like, "Oh, you have problems? Talk to Lucas."
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm HR too, which means
of course you are.
Damn it.
It's funny. I can't figure it out. I don't know like why it is the way it is, but like I notice, and it's probably maybe it's the pandemic, maybe the past couple of years, maybe all that people just have anxiety and stress and everything. But I swear to God, my job is no longer running a grocery store. It's talking to young people about their problems. Come in and sit down at the chair and tell me your problems. Yeah. All day long.
Yeah. I mean, they're lucky they have you for that.
Too much time talking for each other. Yeah,
a lot of people would just say "fuck off," but you're actually a good guy. But
yeah, I will say I found myself in those situations, and I appreciate the supervisors who take the time to talk with them, even if it is begrudgingly, and they hate the fact they have to do it.
It goes a long way to be viewed as a fellow human being with fellow human problems.
Well, I kind of look at it like older people should look to younger people and try to make them better younger people than they were when they were younger, right? And that only comes with age. You get some people get wisdom, some people don't. But it's I don't know, man. Like, why would you not want to help somebody out.
It's empathy.
Yeah.
I
And
saw.
there's a lot of fucked up shit right now.
Well, and think about it. The natural human response when somebody makes a mistake is to be like, "You're fired. Get the fuck out," or discipline or whatever. And sometimes it's warranted, obviously, and sometimes you have to because of protocol. But like in things where it doesn't matter, like if you can turn around and go empathy and be like, "Hey, maybe I'll teach you
baby
how to
formula.
avoid that."
Yeah, there's a shortage on baby formula. So, is there any?
I've heard
baby
about
formula
that.
fight?
What is that going on? How is there a
Well,
shortage of
What's
apparently-
baby?
even that?
One company
What be that?
had some kind of I want to I can't remember exactly what it was, but they found it was contaminated.
Right.
It was like a class 1 recall that they did because I
no.
think
It was
I wanna
something
say
with
that
the piece of
3
machinery
babies.
didn't get replaced.
Yeah, and they didn't want to
Yeah.
replace it. This is
Right.
this man.
That's
now
the
you're gonna get me
thing.
on a
And then
rant.
it grew some
Oh.
pathogens because of
Yes.
the
And so corporate greed got in the way of the solution.
I can't tell you, man. Like it's so weird. Like the way that some people operate, like grocery stores. Like my rule
Ian.
is, my rule is like if you're not going to do, we call it quality assurance. It's like following like cooking protocols, cooling protocols, so that
Mhm.
bacteria doesn't grow. People can literally die. And
Of
it's like,
course.
it's no joke,
yeah.
man. You got to be
Yeah.
very, very careful when it comes to food. And like, we
Yes.
don't fool around with it. And I go to these other stores and they're just like, they don't record like temperatures of food. There's yeah, it's done, and
Yeah.
Ooh.
When you peel back the curtain a little bit on
Oh,
the food industry, it's terrifying. Like
yeah, I bet.
I was so careful at the fish market about not mixing fish with shellfish because
yes.
dude, some people just
You have
die
to.
if you get some
Yes.
scallop juice on their
Yeah.
salmon. Like
Yeah.
legitimately not okay. So,
Jesus
It's
Christ.
crazy. Even like I'm sure you've experienced this. Like if you're cooking, like say you're cooking shellfish and you're cutting fish and you have to do both. Like if you don't change your gloves, that raw fish that you were touching is now
Yep.
on somebody's cooked
Contaminated.
food that they're just gonna go home and But anyway, yeah. So people like want to kill each other over baby formula. Is basically how it goes. And yeah,
Wild.
it's pretty crazy.
What a world.
I feel like
This
I'm
is
having.
why I come home and stare at my snakes and lizards and zone out into the void.
I had
Not having kids.
I'm having flashbacks from when there was no toilet paper when it was like the beginning of COVID. Like,
A respiratory disease? Buy all the paper.
Yep.
not tissues, toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. That was the real cheat code. Just start wiping your ass with tissues. You're good.
Yeah. But the funny thing is you watch how people are just sheep, man. That's like you can watch them and we have all these cameras and everything. You watch people and it's like you'll see people just grab something and then somebody else will look at it and like, well, why are they grabbing that? Maybe I should grab that and I should get some of that. Well, I don't even gonna use it or I'm just gonna get it. And, throw it in their cart and you're just like, if you're smart, you use that to your
Wild.
advantage. Make millions of dollars.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Man,
There
we're
was
all
an
over the place
investigation
tonight.
into heavy metals in baby food, and they found some high levels across the board. I felt
Yeah.
like babies should be able to listen to whatever music they want. Well played, desert creature.
That's funny.
Yes, carpets, coffee, and crappy world events
Yeah.
coming at you live.
We're supposed to be your escape from the reality of the horrible world we all live in. But yeah.
So
So
back to
I have,
carpet by the.
I have a question, Eric.
Carpets. Yes.
I know you're still working on pairing your diamonds this year and seeing what they're doing, and that's all TBD. What is your plan for next year?
I'm going crazy next year. I probably am going to do. I could breed Antaresia. I'm going to try Woma pythons. I'm going to try.
Hey.
I have a shot at water pythons. I could
Queensland
hit
or New Guinea.
Queensland.
Okay.
All of the carpets. except for imbricata, but I could breed that. That's my goal is next season to breed all the species of carpet
Damn.
in the season. So Darwins, jungles, coastals, Brettles, even though I know they're not
Inlands.
carpet pythons, inlands, diamonds, and what else am I missing? That's it, except southwesterns. But
yeah.
I need a male Queensland water python. So
Do you?
Godspeed.
I will remember you. You will get a big box next year. I got. I probably am going to ship probably in the next couple of weeks. So you guys will have packages, EB Morelia care packages coming your way.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'll
I
get
must
Lucas
buy more racks.
I'll give him some carpets.
I need some carpets.
Yeah. Look at that, man. That's yeah. Which one is that? The female or the male?
This is the male. This is Tim.
Tim. Okay.
Yeah. Lizard treadmill.
You know, it kills me to call my male Kimberly. Owen McIntyre, Lord Kimberly. Like, what are you looking at, Owen? Oh, wait, this is just like the podcast.
That's great.
You hear out of the corner of the room, quiet you. Wait.
Quiet you.
I think I'm going to accept that I should probably search out another male Darwin het albino.
Yeah.
After 3 years of striking out with the same pairing, and I haven't moved in those 3 years, and I cycled the living hell out of both of them last year.
Yeah.
That male didn't do anything.
Enough
Talking with Nick
is enough.
Yeah, I think I need a new male breeder, and that dude needs to go.
You need one of those wild caught ones, man.
One of them angry ones.
I shouldn't say wild caught. One of those non-albino.
You think?
Ones.
You think that's the big difference?
That's what I would do.
Get an unrelated, not to the line, and make some hets.
That's what I would do. I like albino carpets. Love them. Think they're great. But I think that the world needs more Darwins.
You think there's an outcrossing problem at play with them?
Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. For some reason, like I know that people have done it, and I know that people say that they're just like regular carpets. But to me, I think that Darwins are a little bit different.
Yeah.
I just think they're a little bit different. I don't know why. I just get the feeling that there's something different about them. And
yeah. Brandon asks, am I sure it's a boy? And I am. I've actually every year after he does nothing, I pop and probe him, and every year I see hemipenes and go like, I don't know. Nice.
And you're sure the other one is a girl?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, she's huge, dude. She's big. He's tiny, like tiny. And not for lack of feeding and not for overfeeding on her end either. And yeah, it's just, he doesn't do anything. He's timid. He's scared as hell, dude. He's like visibly timid. He hides. He doesn't come out when paired or breeding. He hides. Like, he is legitimately scared shitless all the time.
Have you tried like introducing a shed skin of a male or another male of any, and nothing? Huh?
He goes and smells it, and then he's like freaking out. He hides more. He loses his shit.
Yeah. Maybe you're male. You know, that's the thing with breeding, right? I think a lot of people don't ever take that into account, that sometimes pairs just aren't compatible. You know?
So, but my question is, do I want to hold on to this guy, get a second one, and then try and see if some combat stimulation there or competition or what? So I don't know.
I wish I had an extra male. I'd send it to you.
It's all good. I will figure it out in time. Do you guys want to know what's been on my brain lately? It's kind of a scary thought.
Sure.
I'm
Go for it.
I'm legitimately considering in the next
Uh-oh.
year selling the rainbows and the Crebos.
Oh,
Really?
hey, wait, Riley. Well, the rainbows you've been talking about, but I'll take a Crebo.
And the reason being,
Yeah, just send it to Lucas. It'll be close.
the reason being
No
is
shipping.
like I really am liking this focus that I've got going on.
If you put the Crebos over here, you can still have half all the babies and come visit.
Yeah, you got to be the Owen and Eric of the West Coast.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I the housing
Riley's like,
market.
shut up, Lucas. I want
the
some
hou-
money.
No, the housing. Well,
What has
money's
your
always
focus been? Like, what is it? Are you just saying that you're going to focus
Australia.
just on carpets or
great.
Australia?
Australia carpets and whatever little tertiary geckos I find on the side. I don't want to go crazy with it because I do the more my overall population number decreases, the more I'm enjoying what I have.
Yeah, man. It's yeah. Yeah.
And
So you said
and I
Owen the
can't.
Mad Hog. If you get rid of the rainbows and the Crebos, do you have anything left that's not Australian at this point besides IJ's?
Poplin python?
Apodora.
Oh yeah, duh.
I have a pair of normal ball pythons.
Okay.
That's cool.
No, I mean that would
Yeah,
that
that's
would
about
be
it, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be it. Yeah, dude, those normal ball pythons are the shit. They're het for nothing. They eat everything. They don't have bad sheds. They don't care about anything. They try to bite me all the damn time because they eat. They're great.
I did enjoy talking to Corey and able to sort of talk a little bit ball python talk without talking ball python talk. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting talking to her because she sort of crosses over worlds, you know, and it's so weird. I find it interesting how it's so different from one world to the other, you know, and like to be able to transition to that, you know, is pretty interesting to me. But
yeah. I don't know.
Someone buys normal ball pythons. Yes,
dude, you'd be surprised.
They're
So
harder to find than pastels and Mojaves.
and well, so here's the thing with that. I was gonna breed them just to make feeders for the Crebos.
right.
And then my boss and our rodent guys started yelling at me. They're like, you know how expensive and hard it is to find those things? People are paying out the ass and da 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 da. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a normal ball python. This is a $5 snake. My boss was like, absolutely not. Those are like $50 wholesale. I was like, what? When did that happen?
Wow.
Yeah. So I hatched a clutch of all normals, 100% het for absolutely freaking nothing. Them plus a female baby jungle carpet. Made a little trade with my boss because it was worth it for him for the retail value and the opportunity cost of selling those, and that's how I got my pair of womas. So like,
yeah,
the Crebos can eat chicks for a couple months and not eat snakes for a while, and I'll get some womas and we'll be good.
100%. Yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying the focus I have too as well. The slimming it down and what has he got?
He's trying to draw the Crebos in, and I.
You just said you want to get rid of them.
I want to, but see, that's the thing. Like my female, the female is like my wife, my fiance. Her, it's like the one snake she actually.
Well, now you're just arguing with yourself, not me.
Damn it.
Remember
Lucas,
that?
you don't have space either. What are you?
You know damn well I
look
have
at this
space.
room behind you.
I have this
Your
whole
window
apartment.
is now
I'll
obscured.
put it in the living room.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's now starting to go up this wall over here and block out the sunlight. He's gonna become one of those like eyeless cave creatures.
There's a bedroom.
Yeah, he's a single guy, man. He's living. Well, no,
I'm
you still
not
have a
single,
roommate?
but she doesn't live here yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't live there
She don't live with you yet, though, right?
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
wait till all your free time is cleaning up snake shit, and then she's like, I'm just here by myself.
No, she's great. She helps.
I'm teasing.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
teasing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Dude, after you left, she built that last 6-foot cage. I took a break.
You chose very, very well,
God
there,
damn.
Lucas.
But
you chose.
point being, agreed. Riley, you remember that hypo stripe? You know, get
Oh,
those
I know.
purple- I'm just
I
kidding.
know. I know.
Oh, there you go.
I know.
And that's from Australia.
Hey,
I
It
need
fits
a.
in your box.
Well, so yeah, he did send me home with one. I
you were
need
in
to.
my home. I couldn't just let you leave empty-handed. I think it gave you some beers too.
He did. I need to actually like put my head to work and like figure out how I can get some Bradley cold if I'm here another winter.
Window.
Do you have a porch, a separate room?
Riley, I have an idea. Just put them in bins and bring them to work and put them next to the metal door.
But then I'll have to bring them home in the day to warm them up.
Or you just don't.
You know how cold that shit gets over there? Like no warming up whatsoever. They'll be in the 50s or 40s.
Casey Cannon put his down and didn't give him hot spots during the day, and it was just fine.
Really?
Yeah.
No warming up back during the day.
That being
Your
said, if
frontal
something goes
side.
wrong, you cannot hold me liable.
No, but I'm curious about that though. No, I've always been under the impression that the reason they can go that cold is because they still get up into at least the 70s or so during the day.
I mean, I do that, so I
Yeah,
shouldn't.
I do
I shouldn't
that
tell
too.
you not to, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can
Yeah,
get
in the winter
creative.
here we don't get that warm
Yeah.
in the shop, especially in that back room.
Put a little heating pad on the tubs, little timer. You can do it. You can do it.
I think I'm going to leave them at home for a lot of reasons.
What's the lowest temperature you can get?
I mean, I got this room ambient down to 63. No problem leaving the window open, but I still, because of the arrangement of enclosures and where they're at, I still had to make sure that the heat didn't drop below 65, 68 for some of the other animals in that enclosure, that stack. So they still had access to temperatures in the high 60s, even though ambient was 63 or so.
You guys don't have air conditioners in California?
Not in the Bay Area.
Fuck no.
No.
What do you think this is? Hell no.
This isn't the East Coast.
They say open a window, suck it up.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we ain't got no air conditioner. I got a little box in the living room that blows cold wind at my couch.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, when we were in, we didn't. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't need it. When we were in West Texas, they had air conditioning, but when we were in San Diego, they did not.
Yeah, unless you're
When they
unless
built
you're
all
in a
these
house.
houses, they didn't need it.
Yeah, unless you're in a
Yeah.
newer house or a newer apartment or something. Yeah, half the time you just get a wall heater and
I don't
discount
know.
on blankets.
I don't know how you would get them colder than that, but I don't know.
I tried the year before, literally putting them in tubs in the bathroom with the window open at night and
But
moving
you
them
said
back
you weren't
into.
allowed to leave the window open because of plants.
I did it for a bit, but I did actually get it down to 61, 62, but
Okay,
it's a small window. I can only do so much.
gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Do
But-
you have? No, never mind.
Literally, the only way to do it would be to put them outside with some sort of heating thermostat that makes sure that they don't get below
36.
50. No, it'll legitimately freeze. It'll hit below freezing sometimes for a few weeks at night here. So we'll have nights where the night temp is in the 20s. But I just don't have a secure spot outside.
Yeah. Well, you can just, you can be like me. You can just watch all the other people breed.
I'll
Bradley.
just be an expensive collector.
And we just keep them.
Let's be a high-end collector. I have all of the Bradley morphs.
Right.
Did you breed any of them? Fuck no, but I bought all
No.
of them.
Yes. Papers out. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't know,
Lucas,
man.
there's Kribos in your future either way.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take those.
I mean, whether it's babies. I mean, I only have 5 eggs, and I feel like I'm fighting. I'm fighting everything else that I'm doing, trying to.
Listen, man, this is
Push
going to be
that
my advice
project.
to you. Here's the old man advice, right? You know, because I fought it for a long time and I knew it was the right thing for me to do, but yet I kept making excuses because I really did love some of the stuff that I worked with that weren't in the box that I was trying to stay in. And once like Jags, that's a perfect example, right? I knew that I didn't want to keep Jags. I knew it, but I kept saying to myself, oh man, if I'm selling carpets, I want to offer Jags. And then I'm like, do I really want to offer Jags? No, I don't. But if somebody comes to me and I don't have Jags, and you know, and all these things go through your head, and finally I just said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So just jump, man.
I think I need to, and carpets are always going to trump everything else around me, so that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and you go through phases. You know, I've been through phases where, you know, to your guys' point on what you're saying earlier, you're listening to, like, I listen to you guys, right? You know, I mean, I was jealous of your garter snakes, Lucas, because I just think that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm like, a group of snakes in a cage. It's bio,
Hey,
right? Yeah,
all the rules go out the window.
yeah, man. It's just it's cool to watch. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, I don't know. And then for a while, as soon as, you know, Colubrid and Colubrid Radio came on, I know Owen keeps a ton of Colubrids now. You know, Rob's always been sort of a closet Colubrid guy, if you will. You know, Keith has a ton of Colubrid, and so like saw this Colubrid talk, and it's kind of like, well, I want to be part of the fun, you know. And then it's like, no, I don't. It's fun to learn about that stuff, and it's
I love it.
so. I learned to train my brain to like not react to that. I think for me, it's always been part of the fun of herpetoculture was always the hunt of trying to find that species, that exact animal with an exact look that you're looking for. And when you stumble upon it, you know, dopamines are spinning off the wall, and you're just like, oh yes, I found the perfect mate or the perfect snake. Or I can't, you know, I'll probably feel that if I ever get to work with Imbricata or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I you know,
yeah, I keep making excuses for myself as far as like what happens if when I get out of it they're not around. That's a ridiculous thing to think of.
If you know exactly where they are, then they will be around.
That's the point, right? So this is my genius with Owen, is that like I send them to Owen. What's the matter?
Riley, what the hell's happening?
Uh-oh.
God, I'm getting a front row Shota and Apodora male, like literally peeing and cruising around and like marking. God damn it, that dude's nuts. Why is the wild caught import one mellow and the captive born and bred one a psycho?
Rob said mean words to it when it was a baby.
Dude, that female though, she's finally starting to push past the male in size, and she's got that bright glow to her. Ooh,
oh shit!
Those freaking animals.
Yeah, man, they're cool. Like nothing else.
That's the other thing that makes me think like maybe I should move past some of these other species.
Robert sums it up perfectly.
Yep.
Once you accept that you can't have them all and you concentrate on what you truly love, the hobby will reward you more than you realize. 100%.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more.
So
I think I don't. However
week,
that shakes out, I think those are on my horizon. I've been thinking about folding in the towel on rainbows for years, but you know they're just easy. So I don't know.
But what if what you truly love is concentrating on lots of different things that are not alike at all?
I don't think it is.
You'll find out real quick.
No, I'm not talking about you, Riley. I'm talking about me.
Yeah. Well, fair question. Fair question. I mean, it is something, if you have not explored, is a valid thing worth exploring. I think my foundation with having a lot of time in zoos has also made it really difficult, because it has absolutely sunk it into me that I freaking love everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. You know what I was looking at the other day?
What?
Shrimp.
Captive born fucking Matamata turtles.
Oh no, don't do that.
Do I need a fucking Matamata? No.
No.
Have I worked with Matamatas? Yes, a lot. And I've worked with some big ones, and they're awesome, and I love them. But what the hell kind of nonsense crawled into my brain and was like, looking at that.
I think here's just the thought. Here's just an idea to sort of go along with what Robert was saying, right? I think once you sort of get your collection, and sometimes you'll take something out and you realize, no, I really like that, right? So then you put it back in, right? Maybe not right away, maybe a couple years down the line or whatever. But I think once you sort of are working with what you want to work with, and you're not obeying rules of what you think you have to work with, or you're not following some kind of programmed way that you're going to be successful in herpetoculture, or whatever your reason is, that you do enjoy it so much more, because you're really working with what you want to work with and not what you think you have to, or whatever. And it just becomes so much more enjoyable. The drama sort of goes away, and then you don't necessarily have those urges like you did before, to sort of like want to add more. Like I find myself like, I don't want to add. I'm very, very picky about what I want to add, and I don't know.
Fucking Christian. You think those
Nice
are going
try,
anywhere after the freaking saga that I had with getting a damn male? You're out of your mind. No, I hear you, Eric, 100%. And I've been enjoying my cinch down on the focus actually lately, and that's where these thoughts are actually sort of kind of coming through, and I think about a lot of this stuff, and
man, I've been in the opposite position.
And Robert, by the way, I shaved my head today to hide all the gray hairs and my receding hairline and baldness, but I'm so far from 18. I don't even remember what it's like to be 18.
So how are you the opposite, Lucas?
I mean, I feel like I'm getting the most joy and satisfaction and fulfillment with animals by being able to go from tiny Australian lizard to giant North American colubrid to
you're on the Dora the Explorer mode, dude.
So
it's not that
in
though.
the best way possible. You're enjoying the learning. No, but I know, not to say like you're just randomly blindly grabbing at stuff. Right. Like you have these avenues into things that you either.
I guess the way I look at it is like, I'm not going to eat a meal where it's just all one thing.
Of course.
Like I need a little mashed potato with my fried chicken.
Fair.
The indigo to my bread.
Yeah. No, that I 100% agree with you. That when I talk about I'm focusing, I'm not literally getting rid of everything so I have one species. I'm not going to the single item on the plate. Right. I'm going to the repetition of this plate every night that has my four main things.
Which would be Australia,
Papua New Guinea, and then a pair of red Zeppelin corn snakes.
I get what you're saying. But man, if I could only keep 3 or 4 species.
Do you think that you're? I don't mean to cut
one of them. Blackheads would be one of them. Like I can't stick to a spot in the world.
Of course, you are basing your decisions around the behavioral feedback you get from your animals, and that behavioral feedback search seems to be focused around North America and Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. Did I cut that up right? Did that make sense? I feel like those are the two common threads. It's North America and behaviorally unique.
Do you
North
think
America
though
and
that
Australia.
your your career path influences that at all? Meaning
100%.
that if
Well,
you're
certainly
going
the
to
voices in my ear. I mean, career
yeah,
path, I don't know
fair
what
enough.
my career path is. I don't fucking know what's going on, but Loafman for sure.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is
Loosely
like,
define your career to include your collegiate studies, and then
Yes.
absolutely.
I would think that if I was probably listening to, maybe if I was listening to Loafman talk all day about, North American colubrids or South American,
Yeah.
boas, or, vipers from Europe or Australian carpet pythons, that, I would be excited because he would talk about the interesting things about those species, and I would be curious to experience those things for myself. So I would want a collection that sort of allows me to sort of do those things and see those things with my own eyes and experience those things. But I
Sure.
think also too, part of it too is that, Lucas, you're like the beginning, Riley's like the middle, and I'm the end.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
fair.
mean?
I
So
can't argue with that.
it's kind of like
We do sort of
we all,
compromise three different regions of a
yeah.
stage. If you were to linearly traject a reptile keeper's keeping history on a planar avenue, we kind of hit
When
those
I was
three
Lucas's age, I had
zones.
Savannah monitor. I had a Nile monitor. I had an African rock python. I had about 15 Burmese pythons. I had a Chinese water dragon. I had ball pythons. I had boa constrictors. I had hognose. I had corn snakes. You
God
know what I mean?
damn,
Just
you
like,
were
so all over
place.
the place, because it was just like, oh, I'm trying all these things out to see what I really like. And, somehow I ended up, I've always been a Python person at heart. That's always been my love. I find them fascinating. I find it also interesting that some people become a boa person and some people become a Python person, but you don't really have a lot of people that sort of do both.
I will tell you right now, I got my Noah's Ark syndrome itch mostly scratched from working in zoos. So I never went that extensive in the diversity and the population of what I kept.
Right.
I've always had a diverse-ish collection, but it was never like that.
Right.
And then the second thing that you hit on is the nostalgia factor. There's a huge nostalgia factor that comes and goes into our lives, and I had some of that. I worked with the most pleasant, 20-something-year-old Burmese python male, just a normal wild type male, and he's just a sweetheart of an animal. And that nostalgia factor, I ended up at one point getting a female albino Burm, and she was great, but she was hissy and she bit the crap out of me all the time, and it wasn't the same. And I realized that nostalgia factor was literally just based on that experience, and I didn't need to define my personal future keeping experience by that without, not still appreciating the value of that experience. I love Burmese pythons. Absolutely love that species, the animal, just the wild type on its own. I don't know if you can build a better animal, for how adaptable and capable and beautiful and powerful they are. But it's not for me. That's not something I'm going to keep in here. Or even if I modified this to accommodate that is not my thing. Now, then the other thing I wanted to bring up is I remember the first time I saw carpet pythons, and I remember early on how influential that was for me. And I often think, what if that had been a locality boa? What if I had seen boas in that way, and I had been brought up under the boa umbrella with locality boas and morph boas? I can absolutely see the parallels between the carpet python and just python world in general to the boa world. And I can absolutely with 100% confidence say that if I had never been brought up around pythons or anything as far as the hobby is considered, in that it was more of a boa thing, I would absolutely be on that side of the tracks. 100%.
Yeah, it's weird. I guess, you know, I think for me, the python thing came from when I was, God, I want to say I was, I don't know, 10, maybe 12, somewhere in that age. And I went to Martin's Aquarium and got a rat snake. And I thought that was cool. But the next time I went to Martin's Aquarium to get another snake, I saw these Burmese pythons hatching out of eggs. And from that moment on, pythons have sort of been my favorite of all reptiles, you know.
For sure.
And, you know, but to your point, right? I could have possibly gone a different way if I wouldn't have seen that Burmese python. Maybe I would be a colubrid person and not a python guy or a boa guy at all, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, I'm kind of with Robert in my 48 years of keeping, well, maybe not 48, but I've grown up. I've always had animals in my house, and, you know, a lot of that comes from my dad. And, you know, I've been through the venomous, I've been through the crazy monitors, I've been through the big snakes, I've been through turtles, I've been through lizards and tegus, and, you know, you name it, I've probably had it at some point. And I don't know, man, I just keep coming back to what makes me happy and not worrying about what, like, it feels weird sometimes. Like if I'm like, for instance, if I'm hanging out with like Rob and Keith, you know, I think that they're, you know, they might be talking more about boas and less about, you know, pythons. And sometimes it's like, oh, I don't really know much about that, which is sort of like why I prefer to sort of scratch that itch by learning about it rather than trying to keep it.
Sure.
So
yeah, it's definitely well, everybody takes those inputs differently and is influenced differently as well.
And that's the beauty of the hobby. You know what I mean? Like the three of us with our collections so different, you know, it's, I think like when you talk to people that's maybe not necessarily in your same wheelhouse, sometimes you're going to get ideas and, you know, a different way of looking at things or, you know, from other people.
I remember when my brother and I were little, like single digits little, I had a king snake and he had a bearded dragon, and my king snake got out all the time and pissed all over me. And it's probably why I hate king snakes and milk snakes personally. But the bearded dragon, Mellow, great lizard as far as I can remember, a friend, my brother's age, was like, hey, my older brother keeps reptiles. He's got a bearded dragon of the opposite gender. He's wondering if he wanted to breed. And so we loaned her off and they bred. And I have this very fuzzy but profound memory from when I was like 7, 8, 9, I don't know. We're going into a car body shop, and they had like an upstairs area where obviously the older brother kept his snakes in the dad's shop. Scooping my hand into a tank, picking up a handful of baby beardies in the early 90s, and just that being really impactful. And then looking up and across the lifted, you know, loft area, seeing another enclosure with, in my memory, is just these vaguely white and yellow snakes that are huge, but obviously looking back on it in timeline, it's obviously some of the earlier albino berms. And I often wonder why that never left a huge mark on me to the point where I never became a bearded dragon enthusiast or an albino berm or whatever is sort of keeper. But anyway, that's the other part of it is you have your own personality-based makeup of what really gets you going. So you just got to be open to experience it and put yourself in the position to see it, so that door opens for you mentally, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
That's why I don't see any problem with people trying a species.
No.
and then saying it wasn't for me and moving on and trying the next thing, as long as you were ethical along the way and doing it the right way. Because that's how you figure out. Yeah, exactly. That's how you figure out if a species is for you or not.
Yeah.
Period.
It's the only way. Yeah.
Period. That's it.
We'll end on that.
Boom.
Clearly.
See, my last talk with Nick, I didn't get any eruptions or anything like that. It was very
friendly. You didn't press the right buttons.
No, we pressed buttons and my bank account shrank. We pressed the buttons.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You had him happy.
Yes. You didn't get grumpy Nick.
Well, I mean, I could have, because I'm sure he would have liked more buttons to be pressed, but we'll figure that out,
you still have time for the, hey, got enough space in this box for a couple more things.
Well, that is the truth. That is the truth. And I am not immune to that sort of
throw it in there.
Yeah, just throw it in there. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Especially when it comes down to like a Darwin male or something, So.
Oh man, it's trouble.
But the guy deserves every bit of patronage and credit, and I cannot wait for that book to come out. And hell yeah.
Well, I'll give my spiel, and then you guys can give your spiel, and we can call it. If you want to support the network and all the podcasts on the channel, subscribe to the podcast on the network, and share them. If there's an episode you like or whatever it would be, share it around to people. Get the word out about it. You can check out our website. I'm working on that daily as we speak, putting little fine touches on it. I got to say, I don't know if it's utilized. I guess I'll have to look at the data, but like I start to look at the morph section of the website, and if you go and you click on it, and then you go to the Jags, and then you see all the Jag combos and all that stuff, and the Tigers. Obviously, as we get further along, I'll work on more of it, but that's pretty cool, man. I wish that was around when I was getting in the carpets, but check it out, MoreliaPythonRadio.com. That's pretty much everything we got going on. We'll be there. The blog that Riley was talking about will be over there. Those things that we're working on behind the scenes. So if you want to see what other podcasts, or on the network, be sure to go over there and you can check it out. If you want to get in touch with us, info@MoreliaPythonRadio.com. I've been getting a lot of people contacting me about ideas for shows, questions for the other podcasts to do it. I make sure that if you do send it to that email, then I send it out to those hosts so that they can hit on it for you. So that's probably the best way to get in touch with us. You can follow us on Instagram. We're trying to up that. So check that out. We're also on Facebook too. And then there's the YouTube channel, which hopefully you're watching this live on there. If not, and you're listening to this podcast, go over and subscribe to the Morelia Python Radio Network YouTube channel. We are at 788.
We're getting there.
Subscribers. Our goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. So hopefully we can do that. So the more you can help people to check it out. I know at the moment it's a lot of podcast heavy content, but slowly but surely by the end of this year, I think we will have all of those things running 100%. And then we got the swag store, the spring store, Teespring store. Riley put all the stickers as you see right here. Awesome stuff. If you want to support the podcast, it seems that stickers are the cool way to do things nowadays. Put them on your computer, your iPad, your water bottle, whatever it would be, and support the show that way. So you can go over there. There's other stuff besides that. We'll be working on that a bit as we're trying to tweak different ideas and stuff. And then finally, we have, if you want to be support us in the ultimate way, Patreon member, and links are all in the description. That's all I got.
That's it.
Oh, Monitor Fest. I know. Sorry, that was a lot. I know.
No, that's good, man. You nailed it. That was good shit.
The 28th is Monitor Fest. Go to monitorfest.com. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it because it's the weekend of Memorial Day, and obviously working in retail, that's it's probably not going to happen. But
weekend.
I saw that, Alex. Thank you very much. I think since now you're one of those, we'll do that. He had a question about thermostats and whatnot. We'll do that in that behind the scenes chat. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's all I got. Sorry. Stickers.
Yeah, get you some stickers. Yeah, we'll just transition into that. Go to the NPR Patreon and sign up, and then go to the NPR Teespring store. Click apparel and or accessories on the top. It'll drop down. The only thing under there is stickers, and you'll see a bunch of stickers. We just uploaded stickers for every single podcast and Rogue Reptiles logo up there. Let us know. Give us feedback if you happen to be some of the first people to purchase them. Let us know. I had to do some photo work to get those up, and if the quality isn't there on the image, just message me directly, and I will work on resolving that. Otherwise, yeah, definitely check all that out for me. I'm just on Riley's Reptiles, pretty much on everything, and then on YouTube under Riley Jimison, and I should probably make some video footage for the NPR network channel one of these days. So maybe I'll work on that too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fellas. ContrarianExotics.com. There's so many different Brettles pythons out there. You could buy any Brettles pythons to meet your Brettles python needs, but that's not what you want.
You don't want that.
You want well-rounded individuals.
One.
My pythons get 3 hours of Beethoven a night.
Beethoven.
I read them passages from the historical text.
He reads them the complete carpet every night.
Neck rubs 3 times a day. T-touch.
Oh man, you're a great keeper, man. Holy
look,
shit! I didn't realize.
You gotta set yourself apart. This is why we buy JetBlue and not Spirit.
Oh yeah.
Get you some. Fellas. Only organic. That's not true.
Lies.
I could get sued for that part. The rest of it's all true. So yeah, I don't know.
Excellent.
I have been Lucas. Good night.
You have been.
Very good. We are out. Heineken.
Did you drink